Earthbound, but I saw somebody in the chat who's not happy about, who seems to not like Earthbound. You know what? That's okay. It's all right. I understand. It's not that big of a deal.
That's a them problem.
We have a Pantheon lock-in. Everything
so nothing
is
changed.
the same.
Sick.
Yes.
Okay. Okay,
what happened?
Nice. I don't know. The admins had not been working hard enough. So somebody was upset. I don't know. And yeah, we're going back into the same draft. All right. Let's leave that be for a second, and we'll take a look at what's actually being locked in. So the Xin Zhao gets picked up here. It's a good match on those skirmish junglers. Looking at those bot lane pairings that we could still take, things like in the support role, we've got Nami and Lulu still up, so your go-tos for those types of picks are something that we might like to see coming forward. We've got the Aurora pickup here, it looks like, for Creme, which we're happy has been taken away from Karis.
Yeah, Karis, not so good on the Aurora this year. Has not had a win on it. That will not change today. It's going to be a Lucian lock-in for Team WE. They're probably going to pair it up with Emilio, which they do. This has been a really good combo for About and Arha. They've really been able to have their impact known in the mid-game and have executed this super well. So we'll see if that continues. For top esports, I'm looking to see if they pick up Seraphine for Fengyue. It's one of his best champions, and it works really well with Xin.
Yeah, and I think that this Enchanter pairing, or the Enchanter down on that bot side, is going to do nicely for them. If they can take it, obviously. Instead, with the Lucian Milio being locked in, we know that About and Arha have been probably the best spot on this WE map, consistently speaking. So they're giving themselves the tools here to go off and try and be the carry that their team needs. And I kind of respect that. I'm definitely okay with this as their ideal. The Ambessa gets locked in for Zweon here, blind onto the top side. You can now take this time to ban away those counters. The only real one you need to get rid of, which I have done, is the Renekton. So lots of good work already from Top Esports through this draft. They've got, again, very dive-centric composition, and we'll need to see whether or not WE can find a way to answer that.
This Ambessa lock-in is notable because she did get some nerf bat to her. The cast time of the public execution takes a little bit longer. I remember having this conversation with fellow LPL English caster Alk. He said, quote, "If you get hit by this ability, it's your fault." And honestly, I'm with him on that point.
Yeah, well, we'll see if I mean, especially as Lucian, there's not really an excuse to be getting hit by these anyway. You're gonna have you're gonna have your dash, your E up so very quickly, so very often, that there would never really be an answer, a reasonable answer as to why that has been the case. The Corki gets locked in down on that bot side. We know that the Nami is available. We expect that to be taken in. We can also take Seraphine. That's been a really good pairing for the two of them. Pairs nicely with the Xin Zhao as well. And also kind of facilitates that dive better than an army. The encore faster than the tidal wave. You can angle it a little bit, well, we'll say worsely in fairness, but it does have that further and faster travel time.
It does. You do get a better lane and still the same amount of disruption, though, if you pick up this Nami, especially for what Team WE are doing. They're kind of just running at you, so I wouldn't be too surprised that it's immediately locked in. No thoughts, head empty, put the Nami in the bag, bro. Which is just kind of what people have been doing, so you kind of equal out on the aggressiveness in this early lane, which should mean that About and Arha's window gets a lot smaller of only that mid-game. Karis with this LeBlanc, not something we kind of glossed over it a little bit, but a really good game for it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of squishies to try and pick off. You've got 3 people down from mid to bot that are very susceptible to falling, so would not be a surprise if they looked to give Karis the LeBlanc bag and see if he can make sure that this pick works for them. I do think that this WE composition as a whole, it feels a little bit mismatched, where you've got the poke from the LeBlanc, you've got the aggression early from the Lucian and the Milio, and then you have got some decent mid-game skirmish for the Aatrox and the Pantheon. I think as the game gets later, their composition struggles, but it's not like the top esports roster itself is you know, abundant in late game damage.
Yeah, this mid game again. This is just Team WE deciding to execute on a mid game and say this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna live and die by it. It didn't work in game 1, but they were in a good enough spot for it to be impactful and for them to have a chance. We're looking to see if they can do the same thing here, Roodood. Game 2 of the final best of 3 series of the day. Team WE, can they even it up, or will Top Esports return to their winning ways? All right, nothing too crazy here, although JiaYao is going to come down here to help out TN on this red buff, just making sure that Monki's not poking his head in there. Should have an idea, because JiaYao's coming a little late to lane, that we have something afoot on the top side of the map.
Alrighty, and it's that early trading down on the bot side as we would expect to see. Emilio very good at taking the initial trades up against the Nami. The intricacies of this one come from the fact that the Nami can heal you up, but the Emilio can block damage. So in these longer trades, you would expect it's actually Nami's mana bar, which is the bigger resource to keep your eye on, because the health should frequently be getting topped up by the ebb and flow. So whether or not you can get the mana in and consistently use those spells.
Karis and Creme just hanging out for the moment. We already saw a little bit of trading. Both of these guys chunked out. Karis opting into the teleport. We did see in Split 1 and a little bit of Split 2 that players would opt into Ignite in these scenarios, mostly because of the empowered recall that was on the boots in the mid lane, which you don't have anymore. As Fengyue and JiaQi continuing to take it to about Narha, about getting quite low here.
And that's through barrier as well, so double sums are spent early. Oh, pulling on the top side. Okay. Hold on, JiaYao very low, and now Monki's bot lane.
All right, well, we have to wait and see what's going to happen here, because, you know, we deal with a little bit of feed issues for the moment. Looks like Monki's getting closer, Roodood. What's happening? All right.
It's a double kill for JiaQi.
What happened? Okay, TN showed up. That's what happened. JiaQi gets 2 kills. He's up 800 gold right now. And we don't even know what the heck happened.
You know, that's one of those situations where you pause it, you come back, and you're thinking, what on earth has happened here?
Oh, we get a replay.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to cast this. Monki trying to come in looking for a play. Both members tagged up. The flash was a little late. Fengyue's in trouble. JiaQi with the turnaround though onto about. They left him unabated. Fengyue still alive under the turret. Now JiaQi looking to kite this out. Tien is going to show up to save the day for his AD carry. Monki will go down easy. A red buff over to JiaQi. A 2 for nothing. And you know they weren't going to get RR because we already saw.
Yeah, you know, looking at that play, is it like do Top Esports get out for free, or do BWE find something? The secret answer is hidden option C. They get double killed somehow, and with that, Top Esports feeling very, very good, because this Lucian Emilio all about momentum. The fact that you've got none of it now down on that bot side is a pretty big disaster. So we'd like to see Top Esports use this now. You've got Tien, who's playing this Xin Zhao, got a lot of opportunity to make some plays happen early. You've got this Corki, who likes to spend a little bit of gold early on getting himself into that 2-item spike, where the Lucian likes to get items in really early, but the gold lead for JiaQi here feels really, really good.
Yep, you have brown bag boots on Lucian compared to a ruby crystal, your longsword, and it's here on top of it. It just means it's going to be so hard to kill JiaQi at this point of the game with the sustain that the Nami brings out. A little bit of extra damage. I mean, they were already winning the trades, but look at how they continue to go. JiaQi's red buff just wore off, so at least a little bit of relief, but that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the best. That's the best we've got for you, folks. And you know, that's not good painting. That's not good picture to be painted. as they don't spot Monki here just yet, but it's just
This is a good setup.
No. Yeah.
Yep. Monki going to be able to sidestep. No turnaround to be had. Although the Mega Fire Kick did hit Fengyue, so as long as Top Esports can stymie what Monki wants to do, they're going to be in a good spot. Keep him down, keep him from hitting level 6, and things will go well. About is level 4 compared to JiaQi Love's level 5 as they decide to go in and take the fight. About's down to about half HP, but JiaQi Love has those empowered auto attacks. There'll be no more fighting to be had. Top Esports nursing about 1,000 gold.
Oh, it's so hard right there for Top Esports. Like, if I'm JiaQi Love, I'm itching to press that W key and just like get a triple Valk, kill them all. But I know that like that's the type of play that can very quickly throw the game back into WE's favor. So I respect the caution that was exercised there. Now, I'm looking for what it is that WE are going to look to do to come back in this game, because despite the fact that neither of these teams scale tremendously well, I do give the scaling advantage over to WE. Like, this game doesn't get easier for WE. This is like a you have to go through the mess to get out of it. You can't try and find some alternate route through this composition to get yourself to a late game, because when you get there, you just lose anyway.
This is Monki's 20th career game on Pantheon. 6 and 13. And we have mentioned in the past that his Pantheon, you know, is not his greatest pick. He does well on a lot of early aggressive picks, but not so here. Fengyue with an excellent roam, but he does miss the bubble. Monki trying to do what he can, calling his laners over because he wants to get ahead here. The smite went down for TN. Now he's level 6. Turnaround's going to go into Monki. He gets bubbled up. Arha and Karis here to try to protect their jungler. It's a damn fiesta in the jungle right now. Fengyue bursting into half HP. Here comes Creme on the backside. Karis in a little bit of trouble. Has some cooldowns. Is going to be back in the Brambleback pit and just kind of hang out and distort over the wall.
And all of the top side laners here are just thinking, what on earth are these kids doing? Why are my junglers going for this?
Where's the flash on a Monki? Monki with the turnaround. TN drops his ultimate cube once in, but the health bars are not here. Public execution, and Swayon is ready to rip him apart. On top of Karis, who gets over the wall, and now TN leading the charge. Wants to find more. Karis distorts back as he's got the Brashi jukes, reminiscent of Civ HD. Turning around onto TN, bursts him out and takes him down, but is now found himself in the enemy jungle. Will Top Esports be able to find anything more? The answer is no.
Alright, Yanni, I'm here for the chaos, I'm here for the fiesta, and Top Esports are the ones who profit from that. It's a kill over to Swayon here in exchange for a kill onto Karis. Now, it's important to look at who it is that's falling here. It is the junglers both times going down. And that overall, you know, makes it that trade of, okay, you're giving both solo laners a kill, both of your junglers are falling for it, but a flash comes through from Monki here, and they think that they found the engage, but Tien's level 6, so he's able to brush off this engage very easily. Cube gets no real value from this world ender, and he's not able to find any sort of reset. As we look back on live, and there's already another fight. Fengyue is not the one on target. It was Tien, in fact, the one who got taken out there.
I just love Team WE sometimes.
Yeah.
Man. There is no reason you should be in their jungle at this point in time when you are, you know, Monki, who was formerly 0-2 and things weren't looking so good, and yet you just are able to get in there anyway. You say, I don't care. We're going to go in and take everything away from Tien and try to set him behind. It's a blueprint that teams have done very well to try to get ahead of Top Esports. Grub's going to be picked up here for Team WE, which is going to help out this mid-game once you shift About and Arha to the mid lane.
Creme already somehow exerting some pressure into this mid lane, despite the fact that Karis has this gold lead. You see he's not taking favourable trades really at all. And obviously with Top Esports having this composition that does do a little bit better as this game gets later, them being in the ascendancy at this stage feels pretty good. It's the same sort of position that WE found themselves in last game, and we know how that one ended, but for Top Esports, their hand check capability, definitely something that we've seen be pretty consistent, and in this series as well, seems to be on their side. as when we're looking for those objectives, we've got a Drake spawning in about 90 seconds time. I think Top Esports will be looking to try and take that for themselves as well. They've got all of the tools to be able to do so with a 1.3k gold lead on JiaQi. Love, he'll probably be looking to go back to base and maybe even finish off his Trinity Force here on this recall. Depends on the amount of gold he's got, but both he and About were just sat down on that bot side the entire time farming up. Not really doing anything for the team, just getting themselves some gold, and shown in the fact, yep, JiaQi goes back. He's got that Trinity Force now, and he's feeling very, very accelerated, if nothing else.
And because he was stronger, he was able to maintain and even widen the CS lead a little bit down there. So, big reason why he's up on this Trinity Force right now. As you just spotted out, the first player to finish an item in this game, JiaYao, just went back and picked up his Eclipse. So we're seeing these Top Esports spikes. I imagine that means that in 40 seconds, as you mentioned, the Dragon will likely be theirs. Team WE want to fight. It's going to be a big uphill battle.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have those first items just yet either, right? Monki goes back to base now, picks it up, and I mean, Cube might be able to pick up that Sundered Sky first, but I think even going down to this Dragon is a bit of a loss for WE. I would expect them to take this fight. I would hope that they'll try and find gold elsewhere on the map.
Well, Cube did go and teleport upstairs, so won't be around for this Dragon fight. As expected, did get that Sundered Sky, so he could have made an impact, but you'd just be giving too much away to the M-Bessa at this point of the game.
They're not set up, they're not really ready.
Yeah.
The problem.
Yep. Monki walking in here with these sweeper up, knowing that there were some enemies afoot, and he's already almost down to half HP after everything that they've done to him, so you don't have nearly as much sustain without the Nami on your side, so he's going to have to take this recall, and it should mean that Top Esports get this with no contest.
And the mandate finished as well for Fengyue already. Like, it's, you know, one of the most over-talked about support item spikes, but probably for a reason. Mandate picked up for an army. Feels very, very good. It gives your AD carry a whole load of power, and it kind of means that this or this second Dragon rather, but the first time that we could have seen these two teams take a relatively fully fledged fight, just does not have that chance. And I like this from WE. A little bit of restraint where necessary.
Again, they have continued to show growth. That's really what we're looking for as they're getting ready to head into the play-ins. Remember, they are already locked for play-ins. No real surprise there, given their 1-10 record. But again, growth is really important for this team. They have shown some today. Already really proud of what they've been able to do. It's a big reason why you might see Monki on this Pantheon, as mentioned a couple moments ago, not really his strong suit. But get us some extra stage games on it. Try to make it a weapon that you can use later on.
And, you know, on the other side of the coin, for Top Esports, we mentioned that this was a must-win series, really, not in the sense of their standings, but for the journey of their season. Not 2-0ing here doesn't build the confidence that this Top Esports roster needs to suggest that they're going to be a playoff fighting team. I don't think that the organization was expecting it coming into the split, but with the massive start that they found themselves taking, I think they'd be disappointed at this point in the season if they didn't. So this 2-0 that's currently on the cards, not necessarily mandatory, but definitely something that they'll be hoping for, and definitely something that I would expect to see from them. As I might be going for the fight down here. Double bubble.
Yep, we got a flash out of Arha there. So again, priority bullying here from Top Esports. You are stronger around this Corki. The Trinity Force to Essence Reaver is not a comparison. You're going to take all the space that you want.
Recall does manage to be channeled for Karis, as he's going to have to walk out the long way to that mid lane. We are seeing on this top side that it feels like Cube is getting the better end of the trades, but JiaQi actually 2 kills worth of gold and up over his counterpart here. As you can see, just the amount of damage that both of these AD carries are going to be able to do. Definitely not something to be scoffing at. A Q and an auto cheeky rocket thrown in by JiaQi took about down to about half HP through Milio, and all of the shielding that that guy can provide. But you can see, like I say, topside doesn't look like it's going well for JiaQi, but he's got more gold and he's doing pretty well.
Now it's starting to go well from World Ender popped by Cube. Now that this is going to go on cooldown, JiaQi, I'm sure he's thinking, I've got the green light to go.
I think Cube's thinking, I've got to go back to base and just concede all top priority. He just walked up, ate a full M-Bessa combo, didn't trade back at all because he was under the turret. That was very confusing. It was going so well for him. But he sort of makes one blunder. Now all of that top lane prio that he was sort of establishing for himself is completely rendered useless.
No ultimate for him for this Rift Herald up in 5 seconds. Monki also burned an ultimate, didn't really get anything out of it, so these are both going to be down. Teleport coming up for Zwayon on this top side. Walk up with his shield and try to get in the face of Karis. They moved him over to the top lane in an effort to fight for this objective.
Yeah, Eclipse has been long finished for Zwayon, so doing a very good job here. Putting that damage on down, as you can see here, some consistent trades going through. Fengyue forced to flash, but the Herald already started here by TN. Those first items have now come through.
Culling coming down, forces the heal out of Fengyue. Now Team WE with a man advantage, looking for some positioning. Tidal Wave is going to split the gap, not do a whole lot, but it's going to allow time for Creme and Zwayon to show up. Monki forced to flash away, now the fight split. Public execution in front of the Herald pit. Down you go. Karis being run down by TN here. TN's got the health advantage, will dash, but Karis with a little bit of trickery here. And LeBlanc is good for it. JiaQi Love going to look to finish him off. Will flash after him and do so.
I love that. You've got rockets available. Don't give the LeBlanc the opportunity to try and juke away from you. Just flash on her, give you the auto attacks, and take her down. That's going to be the Herald you'd like to think picked up here for Top Esports, but he has his ulti in about 20 seconds. He's coming back from base, and Top Esports don't feel confident enough to take this for themselves. I'm going to back away here as Zwayon on the top side, relying heavily on his Eclipse shield.
Oh, they all... Well, not all of them cancel the recall. 2 of them do. Fengyue healed up JiaQi Love to get there. I think it's because this Dragon's coming up in 25 seconds at Top Esports are backing to put the priority on that objective. Let's take a look at this replay, starting with the Fengyue flash.
Yep, good flash out means that he doesn't get hit by the Q, means he doesn't get followed up on by Monki, which means he's not going to take the boatload of damage in front of the Lucian. Now, the culling comes down and it actually does a decent amount of work. Unfortunately here, WE just haven't really checked all of their angles. They've got Zwayon coming in from one side, Creme's able to TP flank in from the other. And, despite this nerf to the Ambessa ulti, still finding it's landing pretty consistently when Zwayon is piloting it. Does end up being a nice 2-for-0 here for Top Esports, and they are able to find the Dragon off the back of it as well. So Soul Point at 17 minutes picked up for them. 22-minute Soul on the cards here, Yanni, once more.
Called it out during the fight, but a really underrated tidal wave by Fengyue there. Just made sure About and Arha couldn't get close, allowed time for Creme and Zwayon to show up, and from there the fight was history. And now 4 minutes and 30 seconds away from an Ocean Soul, and that might be something that's going to be impossible for Team WE to overcome. They don't have consistent damage. They have burst, but I don't know if they have enough burst to be able to single out more than one target. Everybody on Top Esports will be able to sustain up and survive.
Alrighty. The Herald is going to go down into this mid lane, and that gold lead hasn't particularly grown here for Top Esports. It sort of stood stagnant at whatever it is that JiaQi Love has. Good bubble.
Beautiful bubble. The breath of life can't save Monki. Public execution hit a bound. He has to flash away, but is getting run down. Ultimate mega fire kick just to keep Zwayon away. Can't burst out. JiaQi Love. Karis went for it. TN will use that crescent guard, and the fight is over. 1-0 for Top Esports.
And I mean, that is perfect Nami play from Fengyue there. The timing that you have to get to make that stick is very tricky. So he deserves a lot of praise here. One of our featured matchups for today was that support role, largely for their playmaking capabilities now. I mean, I wouldn't say that either of these two supports are necessarily playmakers in the support role, but it's Fengyue finding the way to do it on the Nami here, which is very surprising. Arha had the Bard last time round, has been put onto full Enchanter duty this time out, and we're not expecting to see too many great things from Emilio in terms of mechanics, but you can see Fengyue channels the bubble before the Herald even lands, so he can catch him mid-air. Like, that is crazy work.
That's beautiful timing. That's somebody that's been in the practice tool, trying that over and over again to be ready for when that happens. I feel inspired by that the next time I play Nami, so thank you, Fengyue, for a nice display of mechanics. 30 seconds until the Baron is up. Really feels like Team WE are in no condition to fight, despite the fact that they're only down about 1,000 gold. They have not been able to hit their mid-game spike. Goodbye about. JiaQi gets the kill there. Team W are certainly in no condition to fight now.
JiaQi might have got the kill. Creme did all of the damage to take that one down. That's a KS moment right there, but I don't think they particularly care about, maybe this, again, hesitate to say this, but maybe the strongest player currently in the game for WE getting taken down is always a win, and he's 2,000 gold behind JiaQi, so Lord knows what that Corki's going to go back to base and buy, because I feel like their items are far too closely matched currently for the current gold differential. But Cube here trying to take things out of Yaoyao. He's looking for the turret.
World Ender, he's going to get Monki's help as well, and he'll up Yaoyao, forced to flash away. Cube flashing after him, and the Infernal Chains will pull him in. And it's a big shutdown going over to Monki.
It's a necessary shutdown here for WE. They needed to find something. They've been losing out consistently for the last sort of 20 minutes or so, to be perfectly honest with you. So finding some sort of avenue back into this game is pivotally important, whether that's through Cube being this mammoth Aatrox, or whether that's through Monki. We will wait to see.
Nice sidestep on the bubble, and now the top esports support has been caught, and Team WE find 2 quick picks.
Yep, and this is just a snowballing strategy here. You find one pick, let's try and snowball it into another one. Fengyue there trying to sneak some wards into the jungle he had no right to do. And it does give now an opportunity over to WE. That's a couple of kills back in their pockets, about able to get a little bit of gold back now. And be pretty much even on those item breakpoints with JiaQi, right? It's not the same level of item, right? Trinity Force Mirror Mana, definitely a little bit more up there in terms of expense account necessities, but he sat components of an Infinity Edge plus the Navori and the Essence Reaver, so this Lucian, once he's got that IE, going to feel really, really strong and should be looking to pump out some serious damage.
Yeah, it's really the alpha Trinity Force and Mirror Mana versus the beta Essence Reaver and Flicker Blade. It's not going to get you done in this fight. 20 seconds until this dragon is up. About does not have that Infinity Edge. So while WE have the positioning right now, which is good, they need to avoid getting knocked off the block by top esports. Teleport coming in. Yaoyao's going to get this big shield and is going to be ready to go. Hello. They have a good idea of where WE are at. About is already pretty low. And now top esports look to move their way in. They're shoving down the mid wave for right now, looking for that control. About down to about half HP, getting a little bit of shielding and healing as the dragon has been started, but they don't have the damage to rip it down. Here comes the tidal wave. Monki has been bursted out. He's got his phalanx up, but they will fall nonetheless. Meanwhile, Karis, his clone 2, will go down. 5v3. Cube bursted with damage, About trying to kite this out, but there's nothing he can do about it. 4-0 for top esports, and the Ocean Soul is theirs.
And I think that might just be the straw that breaks the camel's back here for WE. Chances back into the game are going to be very few and far between. They had to make a stand there. They don't want to be giving over Ocean Soul for nothing, but ultimately they were down sort of 2k gold going into this fight, and top esports just engaged really succinctly here. I love that Creme's coming over the wall on a flank angle to catch Monki off guard. It's synced up with Yaoyao, it's synced up with a tidal wave. Everything just lands flush for top esports, and Cube tries here inside the mix of everybody, but it's just not enough. Final last dance for WE to stop this Baron.
Hey, good effort there. Unfortunately, the life of Arha is forfeit. Monki is ready to come and does have his ultimate available. But they're... Alright, yep. Karis went and got some vision there, but this Baron is a little too healthy. It's a bit of a scrum for it, and Monki never had a chance as he looked for Fengyue and could not find him.
Alrighty, well, I think that folks probably seals the deal for top esports. Baron at their back, we'll see. I don't think it's going to be as easy for them to close out as they found it in game number 1, but Creme goes back to base and picks up a Medjay, so we can see how comfortable he's feeling about this. Is just TP'd in.
Oh no, About. Oof. Life of an 80 carry, you and I can relate.
Yeah, the proto belt there to finish off the job was a novelty that I've not seen in a while. 14 stacks now on the Medjays.
He's going to do it again. Okay. Yeah, luckily, nobody's showing up.
Not yet.
Right. Fengyue forced to flash away. Good job there. However, Creme is ready to go. There's a public execution. There's a knockup. There's a bunch of burst damage. A little bit of healing. Q Oh my God, Creme just went in. He put the book on the line and manages to slide out of there just barely.
Alrighty, and I mean that healing on the Aatrox, I assume was through the anti-heal that Fengyue has, so that's not great. That Cube's able to live that position. Feels like that should have been a very dead Aatrox, but I mean, Top Esports here, they've got an 8k gold lead. They don't particularly care for whether or not the Aatrox lives or dies. What their job is to lay some structural damage down. That's exactly what they've done here.
Karis able to hop away from Creme, but Creme has really put on a great performance. 4-0-5, a little underrated, I think, at times, but has certainly made his mark in this game. Top Esports as a whole, playing largely well in this game. And here comes what could be the final fight, but it might not be much of a fight. Cube goes down, Calling only hitting the minions and not doing a whole lot of damage. Yaoyao is escorting a wave down on the bottom side, but his rest of his team is on the Nexus turrets. Only one minion stands for now as Tian taking a turret shot.
This was 4v5 that they were doing that under their Nexus turrets as well. Like this is a demolition by Top Esports. The second they get the Baron, the game just ends.
Team WE don't even try to fight. They get engaged on, and they go down. Creme, alive, survives. The stacks on the ego book. No page is ripped out. But rip out another page on the sad, sad state of affairs for Team WE here in this split, as they will take another loss. And sadly, Roodood, this game was not particularly close. It felt like from that JiaQi Love double kill, it was over.
Yeah, it really did. We cut back, we see JiaQi Love 2 kills to the good, and we go, oh, I see. And then they get a Ocean Soul, and then we go, oh yes, they'll probably win the game from here. Then they find the Baron, and then they win the game. Like it was clinical, and I think that for Top Esports fans, they can be happy that their team has restored some sort of faith here. Yes, this was a bottom tier team in Ascend. This is not them fully back on the train of we must now go to MSI, but this is a good showing that the Top Esports that we had at the start of the season haven't completely disintegrated.
Yep, they're still alive. The last vestiges are still there. Maybe not the last ones, but again, we said the get right game. You know, when you got Team WE on the schedule, despite the way they've been playing lately, you still expect it to be a dub. It was a dub here today. It's not, I'm sure for Top Esports, they're not like, oh yeah, we're so back, but they've got to be feeling good about it after the way their slide has recently gone down. They now are 8-4, which does separate them from anyone's Legend and JDG for the moment. They get +2 to game differential on top of that, off of this, so that is pretty big for seeding, especially given the fact that coming into it, Top Esports, AL, and JDG were 7-4. The difference was Top Esports at +7, AL +5, and JDG +4. Putting Top Esports out at +9 gives you a little bit more breathing.
They've got lots and lots of 2-0s as well. Like they had a very
they only had
strong
one
start. Was it?
Yeah.
Was it only one to begin with?
Only one. Yep, only
Really?
one best of 3 that went the distance for them.
Yeah, is it? So they had a lot of 2-0s, right? So they were just
Yep.
slamming everybody. So that's why they've got this really positive
Or
game
getting
score for them.
slammed, as the last week showed, because they got 2-0'd by Weibo and then 2-0'd by AL. So it's either they listen. These guys don't want to be at the arena long. They show up. They say, "Let's play some League." They go, "Ah, damn, we lost," or "Oh, great, we won."
Guess we'll follow that trend, and continue with that. But their positive game score, their 2-0 records, I guess. Maybe the loss is not favouring them quite as much, but yeah, you're quite right here that it's a good look for Top Esports that they are able to find this 2-0 and that they can at least right the ship in some sense.
Up and kind of want to look ahead to their schedule right now. They have a decently difficult schedule in their last 2 games. They have NIP next week on Tuesday, which isn't too bad. This is going to be not the same test that WE provided, but a little bit tougher, right? It's like, all right, are you really back to form? You'll actually see it against NIP. And then they have BLG to end the split, which is definitely going to be a very difficult one to contend with, especially with the way both of these teams have been. For Team WE, the road really does not get easier for the end of the season. You go up against AL, you finish it off against NIP. I've got that one circled on my personal schedule because I want to see what they're going to do and look like against an IP. You can see this damage chart at the end. I mean, just see it's not even close. Unfortunate for Fengyue, he had 100% kill participation for most of the game, but was unable to seal the deal, only 94%. Sad.
We need to report this guy, is what I'm hearing. But for Top Esports, it's a really good showing, and I think that gold graph as well showed quite what the strength of Top Esports are. They came out, strong early lead, you know, couple thousand gold. They towed that line for maybe 20 minutes. Then they got the soul, then they got the Baron, and the game ended. And that all happened within a sort of 3 to 4 minute span of time. So when they had that advantage, when they knew how to play the game out, they were absolutely lethal with it. And they did an incredible job. Usually you'll see teams take, like you say, 1, 2 Barons instead. For Top Esports, it was 1 Baron, job done.
Yep. And for Team WE, again, it just felt like after that early double kill, you knew you weren't going to be in a good spot because Lucian Milio needs to be at least even or eke out a lead for themselves, especially against a Corki Nami who also have a profound mid-game impact. And once that happened, you were never able to get that advantage, and then your comp doesn't work anymore. You've got this LeBlanc, you've got this, you know, Lucian, you've got this Pantheon. Doesn't happen. Monki, you know, we talked about it during the game. Not really the most well-practiced, well-experienced Pantheon. Now 6-14 in his career on the pick. I worry that it might be it's time to shelve the pick situation, but this play looked nice.
Yeah, there were a couple of right ideas going on. Like, this is a situation where they know they're down, they need to find some sort of gold back, but this is the fight that, you know, you really get to see on this top side how easy it was for Top Esports to deny really anything that WE were looking to put out. Like, Karis full combos JiaQi Love takes him to half HP. Cube recognizes he needs to try and peel for his AD carry, but that then creates this situation where they're playing a little bit of a 4v5 because the Aatrox is just walking through, not actually doing anything, not contributing at that stage. But I mean, this paints the picture of the game quite well, I dare say, that the fact that you can take 2 fountain shots and still live, yeah, I think you're pretty good.
It's gotta feel so bad. Like, we've all been in those scenarios where sometimes you're just in a game that doesn't go your way, and so many times I've exclaimed, how does the fountain not kill this guy, man? And you know, it's just the cherry on top of a crap sundae, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, that's
Now,
entirely it.
Let's talk MVPs for this game. All right, it's JiaQi Love. I'm honestly not surprised.
I hate it here.
Well, I guess this means that man of the match is going to go over to JiaQi Love. He got both player of the game, so he didn't die today, actually, which is crazy.
He didn't die today. He did do very well, but I feel like this was and this is going to probably undersell what